were supposed to check to see if that house had anyone home. Now their porch is on fire.
Boss, I didn't do it. The ding-dong doorbell camera just burst into flames and started melting.
Oh, so it's true. Those things are fire hazards.
Yeah, and now we know another big difference between those cheap ding-dong doorbell cameras and a SafeTouch security system.
Well, yeah. With SafeTouch, homeowners don't have to worry about their video cameras getting hacked.
Or employees spying on customers.
Or bursting into flames.
Uh-oh. Fire department's coming, boss. Time to go.
I'm way ahead of you. By the way, your eyebrows are completely gone.
Oh, well. Maybe it's an improvement.
Just so I know you still got your senses, recite the Crooks R Us golden rule again.
Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Don't worry. It's burned into my brain.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF2.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Bridge with Mike Bianchi and Mark Daniels.
You know my rule on rookies is, by the time you get done with the second year, you know what you have. And I think the Magic know what they have at Mo Bamba. Personally, do not believe that Mo Bamba is going to become an effective player in the NBA. I have more out of a 3-game sample size of Cole Anthony than I do in 2 years of Mo Bamba.
Yeah, he looks good.
The Bridge with Mike Bianchi and Mark Daniels. Mornings at 8:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Facebook.com/96.9 The Game.
Yankees gonna talk some rocket sports down the I-4 corridor. So get your motor running. Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Time for open mic.
TGIF, everybody. We are loud. We are live. We are local in Orlando and in Jacksonville. You can listen to us on all these spectrums. AM, FM, HD radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app. Podcast. You can watch us on the video machines. The YouTube machine. You just look for Open Mic live stream. You can find us on YouTube. We're also on Twitch and Twitter as well. I am Open Mic. I'm not Open Mic. Welcome to Open Mic. I am Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. Hope everybody's going to have a great weekend, including Adam Reardon, the Deceptive Intellect, and, of course, Austin Pastoka, the Sultan of Sound.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. I'm looking forward to this weekend for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. Number 1, NFL playoffs. Number 2, I got nothing else planned.
I wish I had nothing to do this weekend. I have lots to do.
Oh, no. It's not good.
You can give us a call, 407-916-8255. You can tweet us at 96.9 The Game and at The Game Jacks. You can also text us on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line, 50857. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, the big news coming out of Jacksonville yesterday. We will get to that momentarily. But first, our Open Mic early morning inspirational quote of the day. From the great Mark Twain, a.k.a. Samuel Clemens. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. End quote. Anyone?
That one means, which is a really important one, I've never let my schooling, meaning going to school and doing the things that we sort of label as education.
The book learning.
The book learning. We don't let that get in the way of the real education, which is life itself.
The school
which is
of hard
experience.
knocks.
Yes.
School of Hard Knocks. What do you know about Hard Knocks, Pistolka?
Hey, let me tell you, hard knocks, brother. It's a hard knock life for us.
That's a great quote,
Annie.
though.
Whatever, Annie. It is a great quote, isn't it?
It is. It's a fantastic quote.
Yeah. I wonder why Mark Twain changed his name to Mark Twain. Why didn't you just keep Samuel Clemens? I like that name.
It's a good question.
I don't know. Mark Twain, like, it's iconic. Samuel Clemens, I'm sure there's 18 people named Samuel Clemens.
Back then, too. That was probably a really popular name back there.
Yeah.
Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, you know Sam. He's that learned fella. He does all that writing.
He's that one that talks about the book learning not getting in the way of the real education.
That's right. I'll show him a real education. I'll tell you what, if he keeps coming my way talking about me like that, I'll tell you what.
All right, we have a lot of polls already up. You can go vote at 96.9 The Game and at The Game Jacks, our thought-provoking daily poll, which we'll get to, but it has to do with what happened yesterday. When are you guys going to listen to me? I tried to tell Adam Reardon Urban Meyer would be announced as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars by yesterday afternoon, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Meyer agreed to become the head coach of the Jaguars late yesterday afternoon. He's going to leave the broadcast booth. He's returning to the sidelines after a 2-year absence. He's 56 years old. Team owner Shad Khan made him the top target probably weeks ago, maybe even months ago, and the deal was signed shortly after their third and final meeting in 7 days. They met last Friday on Shad Khan's yacht in Miami. Then they met again Wednesday, and then they met again yesterday at the team facility. Hiring Meyer, I mean, this is huge. This is huge for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This signifies a new direction for the franchise. They've lost 105 of their last 144 games. Good Lord, have they been bad. 105 of the last 144 games they've lost. By the way, TMZ somehow got in touch with Tim Tebow yesterday and asked Tebow this question about his former college head coach.
Last week, talked to Cardell Jones, who played quarterback for him more recent at Ohio State. Cardell echoed the exact sentiments you said, but his one thing he added was bring him along. Would you be interested? Would you, whether it was playing or just being involved in the organization, if Urban lands on an NFL team?
I can't tell you how many different times people have asked me, and obviously me and Coach are so close, and so we've talked about a lot of different things over the years. But for me, I'm super excited about spring training, and so that's where my focus kind of sport-wise is right now.
Oh, stop it, Tim Tebow. Give up baseball. Give up spring training. It's time to join the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can we get Tebow involved in this organization somehow? Obviously not playing. That was ridiculous. He's not going to play, but why couldn't he be in? Why couldn't he be like your Hurricanes, Adam Reardon, when they just hired Ed Reed last year? Why can't they bring Tebow as some sort of, I don't know. What is Ed Reed?
Ed Reed's chief of staff down in Miami.
Well, why can't Tim Tebow he could be the director of purity and benevolence. How
Team
about that?
chaplain. There you go.
So maybe something along those lines. I mean, Ed Reed actually kind of works down there. I mean, does do work, but.
Well, you think, you saying Tebow wouldn't work?
I was
questioning his work ethic?
The weird part is, and this must be a state of Florida thing. Are there other areas that say, like, hey, this guy has a link to the area. Let's make him part of the deal. You were trying to get like Tony Baselli a job there as like the GM, like about 3 weeks ago.
I still think Baselli should be the GM.
Like, hey, this guy played for Urban Meyer. We should get him a job on the staff too. Listen, Urban.
He didn't just play for Urban Meyer. He's
from Jacksonville.
He's from Jacksonville. He's a cultural icon. He's the most famous person from Jacksonville since Ronnie Van Zant and Leonard Skinner, for crying out loud. In fact, he's probably the most famous person in Jacksonville history, is he not? Google that.
I'd have to think about that.
Google famous Jacksonville. Pat Boone, I think, the old singer, is from Jacksonville. But other than Pat Boone and Leonard Skinner, Tim Tebow's more famous than those guys, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially nowadays. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, back in the 70s when Skinner was popular, but now Tim Tebow, the guy's a cultural icon.
What do you want? We've got politics, notable people, athletes, entertainers, musicians.
Just anybody famous.
Give me like one or two off of each list, and he's right. You're not going to tell me a guy from Jacksonville or girl from Jacksonville that I go,
don't know any of these political people.
Is Pat Boone on the list? Look at entertainers. Pat Boone, singer, father of Debbie Boone. You light up my life. You make me.
He is not.
How about Tebow?
Pat Boone is from Jacksonville, I'm telling you.
Here's a 20-second timeout. You want to know how famous Tim Tebow is? The guy's talking about, I'm looking forward to spring training. If Tim Tebow's name wasn't Tim Tebow, he wouldn't be on any spring training. Right? It's like Garth Brooks. Exactly. Remember when Garth Brooks used to go to spring training and Billy Crystal used to go to Billy? That's how famous this guy is. That he, while some other guy who's been playing baseball his entire life didn't get an invite because Tim Tebow's got the spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why the Jaguars should make him part of the organization. By the way, Urban Meyer's press conference, his Zoom conference, is today. Do you think they will allow the Bulldog to ask a question? Because everybody knows Urban Meyer and I don't get along so well. In fact, when Urban Meyer was at Ohio State a few years ago and UCF was going up to play Ohio State, they had like a teleconference, and the Bulldogs somehow snuck in there. Here's how that went, by the way.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Mike Bianchi of the Orlando Sentinel.
Coach, there are some Gator fans down here who are still a little disappointed you left and say they might be rooting for UCF on Saturday. Do you think it's natural for fans to be mad at a coach when he leaves one school for another, and do you understand that disappointment?
Well, I think your facts are not surprisingly incorrect that I didn't leave a school for another school. So, I'm always going to be a Gator, have great friends in Wallace, and not let a few people try to hurt that down there. So, no, I love Florida. I always will love Florida. I have a great relationship with people there, and look forward to always remaining friends with those people.
All right, Adam Reardon. Will Urban Meyer bristle when he hears my voice today?
Well, it depends on the question you throw. I mean, not that the Bulldog would ever lob a softball.
Softball?
Extend the welcome back to Florida olive branch a little bit with maybe a little bit of a softie to just get yourself back on the inside there.
You hit him with a little jab.
You listen, he's going to be here for a while, okay? I mean.
Well,
Mike, go in with haymakers.
I like. That's where that quote comes from. Not surprisingly, your facts are incorrect. That backhanded. Oh yeah, no. Nobody's upset that I left Florida, and everybody totally knows that when I left Florida, it was to spend more time with my family for that 6 weeks or so.
Until I took the ESPN gig. Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right, straight ahead, put on your thinking caps. It's time for some clever and clairvoyant headlines. Also, I have some more Urban Meyer information I want to spread. That's next on Open Mic. Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right, Urban Meyer?
I think your facts are not surprisingly incorrect.
Days from 3 to 6 p.m. If you're busy and can't always hear our shows live, download the podcast of your favorite shows. They're available on the iHeartRadio app under podcast or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
I don't think it's going to work. I think they bought him in because they wasn't sure what was going to happen with Kyrie. They bought him in as an insurance policy. I think it's going to be fascinating watching those three guys play together if they all play together. I mean, we have no idea what's going on with Kyrie, but no, I don't think it's going to work at all because those other guys don't bring in the diversity. Those other two guys, they are offensive players. There's only one basketball. I think it's got zero chance of working.
Charles Barkley, zero chance of working. James Harden joining the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, zero chance of winning or working. I don't know about that now, Chuck. We'll see what happens, but he's right though. They're not, like when LeBron puts a team together, it's more thought out. Like LeBron plays both ends of the floor. All right, LeBron's a hell of a defensive player and a hell of an offensive player. Anthony Davis, obviously a great defensive player too. I'm trying to think. When he went to Miami to join Dwayne Wade, and then Chris Bosh came with him. Chris Bosh, again, the pieces seem to fit a little bit better. Would everybody agree with that?
Yeah. By the way, a team with Kevin Durant and James Harden.
Kyrie Irving.
Well, James Harden, we've already seen this before. And by the way, they had Russell Westbrook on that same team. Remember? Mm-hmm. So
they were pretty damn good.
Yeah, they were pretty damn good, but they weren't NBA championship good.
No, they weren't NBA championship good, but they were pretty damn good.
No, listen, I don't think there's anybody who questions whether or not this team's going to be able to win games.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the goal.
That's not the goal. You don't put these super teams together to win a bunch of games. You put them together to win games in the playoffs.
Get to the finals, yeah.
And listen, and Durant's a different player now, and Harden's an even better scorer. Kyrie, who knows if he'll ever even play again? I got no idea.
Where is he? What's going on? Is he on sabbatical or something? What is going on with
on
Kyrie
a vision
Irving?
quest. That's what he
Good
is.
Lord.
It is the weird. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm sort of jealous that the guy's made so much money in his career that he could just kind of go, not today. Maybe not next week. I don't know. I'll let you know when I'm gonna. And then there's the other part of you that gets frustrated as a sports fan. Mike, you get more frustrated about it than I do. But man, dude, come on, you're an NBA basketball player. You got, right? I mean, you got like your workload is like essentially like a 6-month work season. Go to work.
You're playing basketball. Basketball is fun. Playing sports is fun. People play pickup basketball because it's fun, and that's your job.
Yeah, I was okay with him like missing a couple of games because he went to his sister's birthday party. I wasn't that bent out of shape about that, but it was when he was like missing games, and he was like wasn't even telling his head coach or anybody in the Nets organization like. Oh, well, I guess I'll be back next week. Like, nobody knew. That's just too weird.
Unbelievable.
Shocker. Kyrie Irving is flaky. Whoa.
Yeah. All right, spontaneous text question.
Oh, there it is.
Spontaneous text question of the day.
I love how Austin sometimes forgets what his real job is.
That's not forgetting. It's just, I get involved in the conversation. I'm floating over here, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh!
I will say this, that for anybody who's ever had to work back there, it'd be great at that job, Taco Fall, because then you can reach. Literally, he's got to be. You think it's one room, but he's got to be in two places at one time.
Maybe we found the role for Mo Bamba.
Huh? Oh, there you go.
That wingspan.
Yeah. That guy, hey, there's no question. He would bust like a bursa sack in his elbow, though. He'd get hurt over there or something.
All right. Clever and clairvoyant headlines for the sports weekend. We do it every Friday. We want you to make predictions within a headline. All right. Clever and clairvoyant headlines. Anything going on in the world of sports right now. All right. Who wants to go first?
I've got two of them that you can make fun of.
All right.
So my first one actually is with the Brooklyn Nets. It's hello James, bye bye Kai. Kyrie Irving wants out. All right. Well, the clairvoyant part would be Kyrie Irving leaves, but the headline is hello James, bye bye Kai.
Just buzz yourself.
All right, that one was pretty weak.
I hope that was the appetizer, not the main course.
It was not. Here's the real one. Get ready for this. Rams get discount double body checked by Aaron Rodgers. Brought to you by State Farm. Get it? Discount double check. Discount double body check.
I'll give yourself a bell.
Yes. Let's go.
God.
It's a sympathy ding today on Friday.
All right, I got a couple. This is very simple. Jacksonville embarks on urban renewal plan.
Urban renewal plan? Oh,
Yeah,
I get
renewal.
it. Okay. Took me a moment. Okay.
What
I
about
get it.
this one? Jaguars invoke lemon law after finding out they're driving a used up suburban.
Oh, that was a stretch.
Suburban? Yes.
I get it. It was a stretch and it was really, really long.
How about this one? Hey, partner, Jaguars get their urban cowboy.
Ah, okay. You went really hard on the urban stuff.
Well, yeah.
Couldn't think of like Jaguars hire Wienermobile. Oscar Mayer Urban Meyer Wieners. I don't know.
How about I got one last one. Bucks Saints. All right. Bucks Saints. Oh, no. Okay. This has to do with the Bucks Saints. Here we go. You ready? Old Man River. Brady outduels Breeze on the shores of the mighty Mississippi.
Ah, I like that one. A better one would have been as seen on History Channel.
All right, do you have one, Reardon?
I was working on one as you were working on yours.
That's Reardon. He always does his homework when he gets to class.
That's right.
As it's due.
I don't let my schooling get in the way of my education,
right.
Mike. Okay,
That's right.
My real education.
Well done.
All right. Text in 50857. Your clever and clairvoyant headlines for the sports weekend. We will read the most clever ones on the air. Do we have a prize to give away today? We don't, do we?
Not today.
I have no prize today, so we will not give a prize to the most clever and clairvoyant headline. All right, straight ahead. Speaking of urban renewal, was yesterday the most important day in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars organization? That's next on Open Mic. Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right, Urban Meyer?
I don't know who creates a story like that.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit bored. He loves coaching. He's been out 2 years now, so he's getting the itch to come back and coach. And they've got a chance. I think they got a chance to do some good stuff there. Got a lot of draft picks and all that kind of stuff. And he's obviously an excellent coach, and he'll have a good staff there, and it'll be interesting. I think he's got a chance to do very well. I don't know if he'll be there 10 years. I give him 5, but maybe he can win a Super Bowl within 5 years. Who knows?
That was the head ball coach Steve Spurrier on our show the other day when we asked him about Urban Meyer being the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, I don't know if he'll be there 10 years. I'll give him 5. Hell, maybe he can win the Super Bowl in 5 years. Hey, he's won quickly wherever else he's been. I got to tell you, I think this, and there's no certainty on anything. There's no slam dunk hire here, all right? Let's not forget Bill Belichick failed with the Cleveland Browns before he went to the Patriots. So there's no slam dunk hire here. But I just think Urban Meyer's hiring by the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday, and I've been around the Jaguars for a long time. I was there as the columnist at the Florida Times-Union during their first season, their expansion season, their inaugural season. I was there. I covered them, and I covered them for subsequent seasons after that. Other than the franchise actually being born in Jacksonville, other than the city getting the franchise, I think yesterday is the biggest day in Jaguars history. And the reason I say that is this, Adam Reardon, because first of all, this franchise is miserable. It's been miserable for decades now, other than the 1 year, 3 years ago now, when Blake Bortles and that Jaguars defense got within a bad whistle of getting to the Super Bowl and beating the Patriots in the AFC title game. But other than that, this has been a abysmal franchise. And that hurts me to say that because, again, I'm not some rah-rah type fan. But if I had to pick a team to be my favorite team, it's the Jaguars. I've always said that. I was there from the beginning, and I root for the Jaguars. But they've been terrible. Bad coach after bad coach. Bad draft pick after bad draft pick. All right? And now they've hired Urban Meyer. Why do I say this is the most important day since the Jaguars were born? Because they are at an all-time low. There's no question about that. Worst team in the league, 1-17. They were 1-16. I read you their record earlier. They've lost 105 of their last 144 games. All right, and now they have Urban Meyer. And I'm not a big fan of Urban Meyer, the person, but I've told you this many times, Adam. I'm a huge fan of Urban Meyer, the coach. He's one hell of a football coach. He's won everywhere he's been, whether it's in the Power 5, the non-Power 5. He's won the national titles at Florida and Ohio State. But let's not forget, he won at Bowling Green. He built the Utah program into an undefeated team. He's never won in the NFL, I'll give you that. But, Pete Carroll never won in the NFL until he won a Super Bowl and should have won another. Jimmy Johnson never won in the NFL until he won 2 Super Bowls and was responsible for a third one that Barry Switzer won. I mean, we could go way back if you want. Bill Walsh never won in the NFL until he won 3 Super Bowls with the 49ers. So, again, this narrative out there that college coaches can't work in the NFL, where did that even come from? Where did that even come from?
Came from Steve Spurrier and Nick Saban and the guys who were at the top of the food chain at the college level and then jumped to the NFL and got their butts handed to them.
Okay, but you know who else hasn't worked in the NFL? Let me go down the list of Gus Bradley and Jack Del Rio and Doug Marrone and all the other NFL retreads that the Jaguars hired. Right? Those guys don't work either sometimes. So to say, college coaches don't work in the NFL, well, NFL coaches don't work in the NFL sometimes.
Would you agree though that the mentality of the NFL is different than college? I look at it like this. Here's the Two things, because I do think that there is a pathway for success for Urban Meyer, and it's a lot like Jimmy Johnson. If you remember the job Jimmy Johnson took over, that was a bad Dallas Cowboys team. But how was Jimmy Johnson able to turn everything around? Through draft picks. Remember, they had the Herschel Walker trade, which then gave them the ability to draft Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith. So they were able, because he was such a great personnel guy, he was able to make draft picks and change that franchise dramatically, quickly. Right. And Urban has that opportunity because they've got the number 1 pick in the draft. They've got multiple draft picks coming up. So
they have 11 picks in this coming draft. They have 5 of the top 65, and you always talk about Urban Meyer's a smart guy. He always picks the jobs where he thinks he can be successful, like he did at Florida, like he did at Ohio State. I think it's a good sign that Urban Meyer took this job, because I think he knows he can win. He can turn this around fairly quickly with all of those draft picks. The number 1 overall draft pick, $100 million under the projected salary cap this season. And Shad Khan is a billionaire businessman who has shown first of all, he's shown he's patient, and he's also shown he's willing to spend and spend big. So I think the fact that Urban Meyer took this job and not the Chargers job is a pretty damn good sign for the Jaguars.
Yeah, so. My only question mark is if it doesn't work within the first 3 years, does he get exhausted? We know that he puts everything he's got into the job until he's got nothing left to give, and then he'll be quick to walk away. That'd be my only question mark for Urban Meyer is if he doesn't have the success that he's used to having right away, how much does that eat at him? How much does that tear him up from the inside out? And he just goes, listen, I after 3 years of 4 and 12 or whatever, I just, my heart's not in it anymore. And then the franchise has to start from scratch. I'm just asking that.
No. I get that, but here's my response to that. If he goes 3 years at 4 and 12. He's not going to have to worry about walking away, because they'll boot him out. They will boot him. I mean, no NFL coach it survives 3 years of 4 and 12. That just doesn't happen. So again, if he goes 4 and 12 for 3 years, I don't think Jaguar fans are going to be upset.
Even at 7 and 9. Even at 7 and 9.
Yes, same.
So if he wins 3 games next year. If he wins 5 games and then 7. So ascending win totals, but never makes the playoffs. Team's getting better, but he's never had a winning record in the NFL.
No, that's not good enough. That won't be good enough.
It certainly won't be good enough for him. He would walk away from that instantly. But I think some fans would look at it and go, "Hey, we keep getting better. We're this close. We're this close." That would not sit well with him. Would not sit well with him.
You know what I think? I think Urban Meyer. Here's how I think the ascension's going to go. 5 wins next year, 9 or 10 wins the following year, and then the year after that, competing for the Super Bowl. That's how I think it's going to be with Urban Meyer. He's going to pour, as you said, he's going to pour everything into it. He's going to put the pedal to the metal until he runs out of gas. And you know what? If he runs out of gas and the Jaguars have gone to the Super Bowl, well, who cares if he runs out of gas if you reach your destination? You're there, all right? Then go get somebody else to coach the team. So, again, I think it's going to be fascinating to watch. There's no question about it. And the thought-provoking daily poll question is this. Is the hiring of Urban Meyer the most important day for the Jacksonville Jaguars since the team was born? I say yes. Real quick, Adam, what do you say?
It feels like a prisoner of the moment take. So I'm going to go no. This isn't the most important. Get them to an AFC title game, and they've been to AFC title games. So no, those have been the most important.
Okay. All right, go vote at 96.9 The Game or at The Game Jack. Straight ahead, an NFL legendary coach says Deshaun Watson needs his diapers changed. That's next on Open Mic.
Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
Skill level that he has is certainly John Elway-like.
We'll be back right after this.
We were talking earlier today. I am suggesting that since Urban Meyer is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, his favorite all-time player, Tim Tebow, who's from Jacksonville, obviously, there should be some spot in the organization for Tim Tebow. And we were debating whether Tim Tebow is the most famous person ever to come from Jacksonville. I think he is. Yeah, I mentioned Pat Boone earlier is from Jacksonville. It has been confirmed. Pat Boone, yes, indeed, was from Jacksonville. So, what was Pat? Can we play a Pat Boone song later, or does that mess up our stream?
That would mess up our stream, probably.
We can play it on the bridge.
Pat Boone? You think he's still copyrighted? Pat Boone?
Absolutely, he is.
Pat Boone probably has kids that, yeah.
Well, Debbie Boone wrote, she sang "You Light Up My Life." That was a famous song back in the 70s.
Probably pretty
You
close.
light up my life. You make me. Huh?
They probably have a couple of grandkids that are banking on some royalties to pay for their college or something.
Yeah. I think copyrights last for 77 years, so we're getting to the point. We're pretty soon. Pat Boone on the radio, on YouTube all the time. Soon.
By the way, Pat Boone back in the day, and he was even before my time, but back in the day, he was known as like a goody two-shoes, sort of a, he sang about lollipops, and he was a goody two-shoes type singer, all right, back in the days.
Nice.
But I think, Google this, Austin, I think there was a time several years ago that Pat Boone tried to change his image and put out a heavy metal album. Can you see if that was the case?
I'm looking it up right now.
Pat Boone may have put out a heavy metal
Now, we
album.
might be able to play that. That may be a space in Pat Boone's life that he was trying to forget, so he didn't didn't want to have any of that.
Did he put out have you Googled that?
Released in 1997. In a metal mood, no more Mr. Nice Guy. 1997
no, Mr.
album.
Nice Guy. I thought that was Alice Cooper.
No, that is 1997 album by Pat Boone.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a song off of that and ruin our stream. Huh?
He does. Actually, he does a lot of covers. So the tracks include "You've Got Another Thing Coming," "Smoke on the Water," "It's a Long Way to the Top."
Come on, Fog Hat.
We've got to play one
Panama.
of those songs.
He has no original.
Panama.
Yeah.
The good Van Halen Panama.
I want to hear Pat Boone singing "Smoke on the Water."
Enter Sandman.
Oh, Metallica.
Yeah. Paradise City. Crazy. He covered Crazy Train.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It has a 2-star rating on All Music.
There you have it.
Smoke on the Water is more like smoke around my peripheral vision. I've got macular degeneration.
All right, real quick, Adam, I want you to explain this move to me. Your head coach of your Miami Hurricanes, Manny Diaz, announced yesterday he's going to handle the defensive play calling in games as part of the changes on defense. He announced that yesterday. He said defensive coordinator Blake Baker will continue in his role, although he will call the defensive plays on game days. This sounds to me like a PR move that the fans are upset about the defensive coordinator, and this is his way of saving the defensive coordinator's job. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I think probably pretty close to that. I think that if you were to fire the defensive coordinator, was there a guy that you could hire to bring him in? I don't know his contract situation, so I don't know how strapped Miami is for money, because remember, they fired Danny Enos last year, brought in Rhett Lashley. Here's the credit I give to Manny Diaz, is that guy has been unafraid to make moves. Now, did he fire Blake Baker? No. I know a lot of fans thought he should have, and if you look at Miami's defensive numbers, not unlike
they're not as bad as Florida's or UCF's.
Well, yeah, they're not unlike the rest of college football, by the way, where it's an offensive game now. But yeah, this is sort of the best of both worlds. I think that there were moments where Manny Diaz had to take over the play calling over the last year anyway, and that's when the defense was a little bit better. And so I think that this is him saying, Look, I'm going to make some changes. They've brought in new coaches. Some guys that are had left the staff are now back on the staff. Guys that were on the field are now off the field. So he's been unafraid when he feels like a move needs to be made. Did that offensively, and they saw the benefit of that in Rhett Lashley. Now defensively, he's going to be a much more hands-on football coach. And we see this on the offensive side of the football at other schools.
He also brought in Ed Reed. Oh, that's right. They brought in Ed Reed and said you're gonna accept him as your chief of staff.
Yeah. Well, remember before Ed Reed, it was Alonzo Highsmith that was rumored for that job at Miami.
Yeah. So anyway, that is the story down in Miami. Manny Diaz, who is a really good defensive coach in his own right, used to be a defensive coordinator. He's going to make the defensive calls now. A couple of NFL stories I want to get to real quick. This saddens me whenever I see a story like this, and you see it all the time in sports, whether it's the NBA, the NFL. Adrian Peterson, one of the great running backs of all time, still playing in the league with the Lions. He's been ordered to pay almost $8.3 million in a summary judgment to a Pennsylvania loan company after he defaulted on a loan in 2016. I'm reading this story right now. D'Angelo Vehicle Sales, LLC. I don't know if he bought a bunch of expensive cars or whatever. D'Angelo Vehicle Sales sued Peterson in 2018 after the running back failed to pay back an initial sum of $5.2 million. I guess with interest since then, it's grown to $8.3 million, and he's been ordered to pay it. Obviously, the guy can't pay it, or he probably would have. Isn't it sad when you see an athlete? I'm looking up according to Spot Rack, Adrian Peterson in his career has made $103 million. All right, $103 million. Isn't it sad that he has no money left?
Well,
Isn't that sad?
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, the sad part is that there are so many people that are around athletes that take advantage of them, whether it's old friends from the neighborhood or new business sharks that come along and get you to invest in these. You can't lose in these type.
Okay, but how hard is it to just say no?
No, I mean, listen. Well, I think that,
if somebody comes to me for money, you know what I'm saying? No.
So isn't Mark Brunell one of those guys that had a lot of money? Mark Brunell is a great example of a guy who got involved in like the real estate.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to develop all this stuff, and then lost.
In fact, I think it was one of Mark Brunell's. I'm trying to remember the former teammate who got him involved. Was it Todd Fordham, the old Florida State?
I can't remember, but I do know that it was a few people involved in it. But here's the problem: it's that these guys sit on this money, right? That's sitting in the bank. You got X amount, and some guy comes up and convinces you to say, "Listen, take that $20 million out of the bank, and we'll turn that 20 into 60." And to those guys, they go, "Oh, that sounds like a great plan." For anybody who's ever been really, really broke in their life. No, 20 million's plenty. I don't need to turn my 20 into 60. No, my 20's just good the way it is. I like it.
Actually, I did get talked, and yeah, we
Burn
both
Lounge.
did.
Burn
Lounge. Yeah, but that was only like $300 or $400.
Turn $400 into $40 million.
All right, here's the other NFL story I wanted to get to. So Dick Vermeil, the coaching legend who led the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl back in the day. So I guess TMZ somehow got a hold of Dick Vermeil, and they were asking him about Deshaun Watson, the quarterback of the Houston Texans. And Deshaun Watson, you've been reading the stories over the last few days. He's upset because he didn't have any input on who the Texans hired as their new general manager. And here was Dick Vermeil discussing Deshaun Watson.
Well, I think they changed his diapers, okay? Nowhere in his contract does it say that he's involved in making the decisions who coaches or who leads the organization. And I think when players get outside the role of what they really are, he's a great NFL football player and always has been a great kid. But I think he just shuts his mouth and becomes a better football player and lead the football team and let the leaders of the organization lead him.
Okay, so that's the 84-year-old Dick Vermeil saying Deshaun Watson needs to have a diapers changed.
Yeah, me too. While you're at it.
It's like asking Henry Ford what he thinks about cars nowadays. How they go too fast? Why would nobody needs a car to go 112 miles an hour? In my day, we just had to get from point A to point B.
You know what though? Old Boomer here. Old Boomer here is going to agree with Dick Vermeil.
There it is.
Yep. Go ahead. Play it.
What is okay, Boomer?
Okay, Boomer. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Dick Vermeil. Now, I don't know about having his diapers changed, but I don't think Deshaun Watson should have any say-so on who the Texans hire as the general manager. I will say this: like Russell Wilson of the Seahawks came out yesterday, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to have some input on who the new offensive coordinator is." Okay, that's fine. The new offensive coordinator, that is somebody you're going to be playing for. You want your style of
why
offense.
Why is that okay?
Because offensive coordinator is a direct correlation as to what's happening on the field. The GM is the guy who runs the front office. You have no bearing.
Well, he also selects the guys that are going to be playing around you, and as a quarterback, I want to know that you're committed to the offensive side of the football. I want to know that you're committed to making trades that help this team out.
Having input on who the offensive coordinator is. If you're a franchise quarterback, I have no issue with that. But to say I want to be able to hire the GM who runs the entire organization.
Now, what about now? Were you ever critical of LeBron James for wanting input on who the head coach was for any of his teams?
Was I ever critical? I've made fun of it. But
okay, all right.
Yeah,
you know what I think it is? I think that Russell Wilson's one of these guys nobody wants to ever call out. Deshaun Watson, for some reason, has not earned the cachet.
Deshaun Watson's a good guy.
No, I know that, but he's not Russell Wilson. Hey, look at him, he's praying, and he's got, he's taking Sierra and look at, they're having the third baby, and we're celebrating his maternity photos and stuff like that.
So you don't think there's any difference in wanting to have input on hiring the offense? If you're a quarterback and hiring the offensive coordinator as opposed to hiring the GM, I do.
No, I think that they're both the same exact thing. I think they're saying the same exact thing. I think that what Dick Vermeil is saying, I think you're either on one side or the other. That athletes should have zero input on who's hired as coaches or GMs or anything like that, or they should have input, these star athletes, one way or the other.
Not on GMs.
LeBron has input on who's hired from.
Well, first of all, Deshaun Watson's not LeBron, okay? When you're LeBron, and the NBA is different. The NBA, the players do have more power and probably should have more power because one player in the NBA can make a huge difference in a franchise. And I'm not saying quarterbacks in the NFL can't make a huge difference, but you can be a great quarterback on a bad team, and guess what? You're going to have a bad team. You're a great NBA player, you're going to have a pretty damn good team no matter what. All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
What you reading there, honey?
It's very exciting stuff, you see. It's the front page of the internet.
Oh, that's right. It's the front page of the internet today. We start off on YouTube's trending page where the official Pokemon YouTube channel.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know you were waiting for it.
God.
They have announced the newest video game. And I gotta tell you, I am stupid excited for it. Pokemon Snap arrives on April 30th.
It's on your Snapchat?
Nope.
Oh.
It is a classic game from the Nintendo 64, Pokemon Snap, where basically all you did was go around and take photos of Pokemon, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, a new version on April 30th, and all Pokemon fans around the world are super hyped about it.
Those 8 guys are so excited right now.
Good Lord. Really? Is this what we've come to, talking about Pokemon?
1.1 million views, Mike. It's earned its place on the front page of the internet.
I can't lie. I still scratch my head at adults who not just follow like wrestling, but like follow it
Yeah.
like they did when they were kids. This goes way beyond that. Adult males who play Pokemon, I still hey, is that your kid? No. Just wave. Just wave.
I'm with you on all counts, Adam Reardon.
Yes.
Wrestling, video games, all of that.
You guys don't like fun, apparently.
I don't. It's not the video games. It's Pokemon. Pokemon to me is should be reserved for 12-year-olds. Once you get past 12, you're an adult male and you're out there collecting your Pokemons.
on the video podcast I do with Alan, the Stash and Beard Show, which you can find on YouTube right now on the Actually Average page. That's a cheap plug for you. But we actually opened up a bunch of card packs trying to because we've seen this all across.
Baseball cards.
So we couldn't find any baseball cards. So we opened up Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we found a card worth $16. How's that for a tease? Go check it out on YouTube. It's up right now. Happy birthday today to Fireball Pitbull.
My man. I look just like Pitbull.
You do.
You do.
You look very similar to Pitbull.
The interlocking Pitbull.
Yeah.
Not the Bulldog. You're not even the Bulldog anymore. You're the interlocking Pitbull.
Yes.
Mr. 352.
He's 54 today, my man. Pitbull, 54.
God, he's probably about right. 50.
He's 40.
Oh, is he 40? He's been around for a while.
He's a young guy, man.
I mean, he's Mr. 305. You're Mr. 352.
Well, yeah.
Is interlocking 352?
Used to be Mr. 904.
Oh.
I see.
I don't know what interlocking is now.
Trending on 969thegame.com. You can check this out on the open mic section. Dennis Rodman's daughter went number 2 overall in the NWSL draft, becoming the youngest person drafted to the NWSL.
I saw her score. She scored a couple of goals in a U.S. women's national team game, like in the U17 level, about a year ago. I remember, and then somebody sent me the video and goes, "Did you know Dennis Rodman's daughter's a good soccer player?" I'm like, yeah, no, I'd heard she's good, but I didn't know she was this good.
Yeah. And finally, trending on Reddit, this is from the Ask Men subreddit, where you can go and you ask men and they will answer. Here's the question. At what point did you realize that you were not conventionally attractive? Some of the responses are really, really good. So, one comment is, when I was around 19, a girl I was dating looked me dead in the eyes and told me, "You're just not that cute, but you're cool." So, there's that. Or,
blunt honesty.
Blunt honesty. My personal favorite was a buddy of mine, and we were drinking in the kitchen at his house. His dad walks in, and we started to ask him about girls and how to get girls and all this sort of stuff. And he looks at me and he goes, "Listen, you're charming. You're not cute though. You're not you don't look good. You got to just go off the funniness, man. Just go right into it." And it was at that moment he knew I was not conventionally attractive.
That's the best thing, though, for guys. The fact that you don't have to be really good looking. If you're funny or you have money, one of those two unnies. You got to be money. Funny or money. I mean, that can overcome a whole bunch for you if you're not a good looking guy.
I can still remember when way back when I was single. Yeah, I'm sort of a hairy guy. I got some hair on my back, and me and a girl went to the beach.
Oh no!
And she said I look like a gorilla.
Oh no!
I knew I had to shave my back when I walked out on the beach, took my shirt off, and the kids started running. Like,
that's when the back waxing started. Way back then.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man, that's the front page of the internet today.
That is the front page of the internet. From our text line 50857, we're looking for clever and clairvoyant headlines for the sports weekend, as we do every Friday. All right, Austin, get your dinger ready.
Dinger ready.
Drew and the Saints breeze.
That's it?
That's it.
That's bad.
What about this one? Somebody just texted this in. All right, just texted this in. There's no headline. It just says urban assault vehicle.
Urban assault vehicle? What?
It's too violent. Too violent.
It's too violent. Way
Plus,
too
it's not a
violent.
headline. It's just like urban assault. What's the headline there?
I have no idea. That's weird.
What about this one? Bills get buffaloed by Ravens.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
What about this one? Bucks take the knee versus Saints as Brady reserves pew for championship Sunday ritual.
Oh wow, there's a lot.
It's a lot to digest.
That's a lot to digest. If he had chosen, I'm buzzing it because if he had chosen like one of those and just went with that for the whole headline, that would have been good. But 3 puns, all in reference to the Saints, Catholicism religion, it's too much, man.
Take the knee, pew. Ugh, that's a lot.
Finally, somebody texted in. We were talking about Pat Boone and Tim Tebow and famous people from Jacksonville. Somebody texted in, Skinnerd are the most famous thing to come from Jacksonville. Ronnie Van Zant is the most famous person from Jacksonville. Yeah, maybe 30 years ago. 30 years ago, before Tim Tebow was born, Ronnie Van Zant. You could go to any mall today and ask people, have you ever heard of Ronnie Van Zant? And just about every one of them would say no. No. But if you ask them if they've heard of Tim Tebow, obviously they would say yes.
We all know the real answer to the most famous band to ever come out of Jacksonville is Limp Bizkit.
Oh, stop it.
Absolutely.
Stop it. Yeah, you're crazy. Fred Durst, come on.
I mean, Leonard Skinnerd's up there, but Limp Bizkit? Come on now. Everyone makes fun of Limp Bizkit. That's how you know them. That's how they will live on forever.
Leonard Skinnerd is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. Limp Bizkit, what did they have? A cup of coffee?
Limp Bizkit's in the these jeans are way too big Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Are you wearing those?
Anyway, up next, Sound Off. We are going to hear from all the newsmakers in the world of sports. But first, your chance to win $1,000.
and AM 740.
That is the sound off music. That means it's time to hear from all the newsmakers in the world of sports. What do we have, Austin Pistolka?
Sound off. Someone had just asked me a score prediction. That was kind of a way of me saying that I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Browns. I think if the Browns had won with more class, then I wouldn't have been so salty about it. But them mocking Juju during the game and after the game just didn't sit right with me.
We start off with Chase Claypool of the Steelers, who has been in the news for his trash talking of the Browns after they got walloped. Well, I tell you what, he got asked about his whole Browns are getting clapped comment. Do you like Chase Claypool? I know the answer is no, but do you like him? And then also, will the Browns get clapped, Mike?
No. When we talked about this earlier in the week, I think Adam Reardon said it best. Hey, why are you talking about the Browns are going to get clapped when the Browns just clapped you? All right? If you... To me, that is the height of insecurity that you can't do something, you can't win, so you're going to rip the people who just beat you. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the classy organizations in sports. For one of their players to be talking trash like that, no. I hate it, and you know what? I don't think the Browns are going to get clapped. I think the Browns may be doing a little standing ovation clapping on their own come Saturday.
Sound off. He's a lot younger than me. I mean, he's 18 months younger. Well, 18 months ago, I felt pretty good, so I've got a little advanced age on him and experience, but I'm hanging in there. He's had a terrific year. I've known him for a long time. Always had a great amount of respect for him and think so much of him as a person, as a player, and I think there's just a lot of mutual respect.
Tom Brady, quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, talking about how much older he is than Drew Brees. A whole 18 months. Let me tell you, massive age difference between these two. But I have a question for Adam Reardon. Who do you think of the younger quarterbacks that are playing right now, could we see a similar matchup when they're in their 40s?
Oh, well, you've got
guys like Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen.
Listen, the Josh Allen Lamar Jackson matchup this weekend, in the AFC, is one we can see for many, many years to come. Two young guys, two different styles of quarterbacks. Both have their strengths, both have their weaknesses, but both organizationally, right now, where the Buffalo Bills are, where they're going, feels like a really good spot. And we know the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, for the last 15 to 20 years, has been one of the best organizations in all of the NFL. That feels like a matchup that we can watch year in and year out in the playoffs. That feels like the one that we could be seeing a bunch in the future.
Stop it.
Why not? You don't think about
everybody knows Baker Mayfield versus Patrick Mahomes. That's what you're going to see for years and years to come.
Listen, hey, this Browns run's pretty good, but you got to prove to me you didn't like that Jacksonville Jaguar run they had a couple of years ago. Like, hey, that was fun that one year. Now we won 4 games.
Sound off. Lamar, like I tell this to everybody I talk to about him. He is one of the greatest dudes you can be around. I root heavily for him, just knowing what he went through his first year and how he's been able to do it and how humble and how awesome he is off the field. But we're enemies on Saturday, and I can't say enough about just how good of a dude he is. It makes you love him that much more on the field.
Josh Allen, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Listen, Mike, I'm taking you from one extreme to the other. One extreme of massive trash talk when it's not warranted to extreme love for each other off the field. Which do you prefer?
Well, as a sports talk radio host and a sports columnist, I prefer the trash talking and the bulletin board material and all of that. But I certainly understand and respect when you just heard Brady talking about Breeze. Now you're hearing Josh Allen talking about Lamar Jackson. I mean, obviously these are great players and they respect each other. They're football fans. They watch each other. when they're not playing. So I understand that. I will say this, though, about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Buffalo's offense over the last several weeks has been lights out. I don't know that Lamar Jackson, and obviously Lamar Jackson, a great runner, but I don't know if he has the passing acumen right now to keep up with the Buffalo Bills. I was looking at the stats. Lamar Jackson has just 3 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions in his last 3 playoff games. So again, I don't know that he can keep up with Josh Allen this weekend.
There are going to be a little bit more nerves because there's a finality to all of this if you don't get the job done. But that's never on our mind. Our mindset is to go out there and prepare to the best of your ability. With that comes that confidence.
Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, talking about the nerves that come with playoff games. My question for you, Adam, is do you think the Packers can overcome those nerves, especially behind the veteran Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, that, and they're playing at home. I mean, probably the most decided home field advantage in all of sports is the
there's no fans there this time.
No, but I'm talking about the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Nice.
I mean, you're playing a team that and I don't know why this matters because but it does. A team from Los Angeles, right, is going to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Remember when the Bucks were like 0-35 in games played under 48 degrees or something ridiculous like that. I don't know why that matters because you draft guys from Wisconsin, you draft guys from Nebraska, but for some reason they get really acclimated to those warm weather cities, and then in December and January when you say, hey, go play some playoff games up there, you can't do it.
Come on, it's gonna be a balmy 30 degrees in Green Bay,
snowing, probably sideways, sleeting, or
30
something
degrees,
like that.
30 degrees high, 21 low. That's subtropical weather in Green Bay.
Very sub.
And they're one hit away from putting Blake Bortles in the game. So the Rams are trouble.
Sound off. If there's anything that should grab Kyrie Irving's attention, it is this trade. This trio is better than the trio that I saw when Kevin Durant went to Golden State, and that's with Klay Thompson, and that's with Stephen Curry. Wow. It's better than the trio that I saw with LeBron James and D. Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. People are going to ask questions about how do you make it work. Here's how you make it work. Kyrie Irving, move off the ball.
That is Jay Williams. We heard earlier from Charles Barkley how he doesn't think the Brooklyn Big Three will work. Jay Williams says this is the best Big Three he's ever seen. Very quickly, Mike, who do you agree with?
No, I mean, if you just want to say, hey, this is the best collection of offensive player, I mean, there's more. Everybody forgets there's more to basketball than scoring the basket. Is that important? Yes. But, I mean, these guys are all 3 considered pretty weak defenders. That wasn't the case when LeBron was putting together his big threes, both in Cleveland and Miami and now in LA. No, I'm going with LeBron any day over this big 3.
Sound off. That's the sound off for today.
All right, straight ahead, just got an email from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer's press conference today is at 11:30. I need some questions to ask Urban. Maybe you guys can help me next on Open Mic. Still having those modulation issues.
Mike, at some point, you're going to have to deal with music coming in a little hot. What do you want? Do you want this? You want this? Is that better?
I want it perfect because I'm a perfectionist.
Well, good luck. Do it yourself then, Mike.
I want the... Oh, that's a good attitude.
If you can't do something right, do it. If you can't find someone to do it right, do it yourself. Huh? You want to come in, push these buttons, Mike?
Just the perfect modulation is what I'm asking for.
All I'm asking for. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for literally something that's impossible. Cool.
Perfection.
Anyway. All right, so Urban Meyer, obviously, that's the big story we've been talking about this morning. He is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was announced yesterday by owner Shad Khan. You can go to any website and see the statements that they put out. Well, Urban Meyer will be introduced at a video Zoom conference today. Reporters will have a chance to ask him questions. And everybody knows I've been pretty critical of Urban Meyer in the past. He's not my favorite person, although I do think he's a hell of a football coach, and I think this is a great hire for the Jaguars. Well,